as far as the news goes, there's a lot to cover here. We've already kind of mentioned in passing the 5 million downloads celebration, but the details are here, so it's pretty tasty, so let me try to go through it really quickly. First of all, there's going to be a login bonus for every day of the month, so you want to log in every day if you can, obviously. There's going to be some, like, gems and stuff thrown in here or there, but really what you're collecting, at least on a regular basis, are these special currency coins, these 5 million download coins, and that's going to be able to buy things from the shop. So as you can see here, you can read it for yourself. There's going to be some rare unit summon tickets, which are kind of nice. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who just pull freed, but there'll be others who actually are able to get some 5 stars out of that. And then there's some apples and crystal, gold ingots, gems, things like that. The gems time 50, I mean, I think it could have been a little better there, but it's kind of like an accumulation of wealth. It's not like a one day kind of is going to make you rich kind of thing. So on a day-to-day basis, not necessarily the most motivation to log in, but overall, over time, you're going to get a ton of stuff here. So you can read it for yourself, but lots of goodies. And it is free, of course. And this is actually going to be stacking on top of other things as well. So while it may seem a little underwhelming at first, all in all, it's going to be quite rewarding. So in the shop, using those coins that you get from logging in, you're going to be able to buy a lot of good stuff, including 5-star unit summon tickets, 4-star gear summon tickets, etc., etc. So you definitely want to save those up and then use those in the best way you possibly can. I mean, obviously, ideally, you probably want to use it on something like 5-star units or 4-star gear. You don't want to be using it on like evolution material for sure. Probably don't want to be using it on equipment either. This various 4 to 5-star job equipment, I don't know if this includes limited time stuff, so maybe people who missed out on some job plus gear equipment, I'm sorry, maybe that'll be useful, but I think for the most part people will just want to use it for the 5-star units and the 4-star gear. Otherwise it's kind of like, I mean, you can always farm it up on your own anyway. One-time login bonus. Okay, so this is the most exciting thing, I think, as far as any of the news goes. So if you log in anytime during the month of May, starting on the 3rd basically, you get 500 gems as a one-time login bonus, which is really nice. But what's even cooler is you're going to get an ALCHEMIST mascot, which is one of the best accessories in the game. Now, I don't know when it first came out, but it's been definitely a number of months. And people who missed out on it the first time have been really kind of salty about it. And for good reason, because it's one of the more useful accessories, to be honest. You get 200 HP, which is a big amount, considering that we haven't had the HP rebalancing. Some of the support units are like 300, 400 HP, so 200 makes a big difference. It also gives you a chance of surviving fatal damage, which is called Guts. It's not super reliable, but it's better than nothing. So I think people are going to be really excited that this is coming back. And for those of us who already have one, having a second one is always going to be useful as well, because I'm always like juggling between who I want to have it equipped on and stuff like that. So with 2, it's going to make life a lot easier, but having that first one, it does make a difference, especially for like arena or even in campaign maps or whatever, where you don't want your support to get one-shotted. It's such a useful accessory. It will fall off later in time as HP pools increase, but for now it's very useful. And there's also going to be some kind of celebration apple times 5. I'm assuming these are really a lot of EXP. I don't know the exact amount, but clearly it's going to be more than like a crystal apple. So I'm excited about that too. There's so many units to level up, and honestly that one day, 1 per day, 100k experience level, that has been a godsend. I've gotten so many units leveled up. It's like so generous, honestly. So I'm thankful for that, and this is only going to top that off even more. So 24, oh, this is another piece of news that I almost forgot about. Every day you log in for the month of May, starting on the 3rd, you're going to get a free rare summon. So instead of every 3 days, it's going to be every day now. So definitely, if you can, log in every day. If you're not excited about the coins or whatever, at least for this. So yeah, really important stuff. Then there's going to be the 2x drop rates in story quests, which is nice. For the first couple of weeks anyway. I tend to finish out events, like the weekly events or whatever, by around Sunday. So Sunday through Wednesday or so, I'm like farming story or I'm farming key dungeons until the next banner or the next event drops. So this is a good way to use your AP if you have it. Farm up those sacred lion blades or whatever, the compass pieces and stuff like that. Daily missions, there's going to be, okay, so these are going to be daily milestones on top of the milestones that we already get. It's going to include EXP, AP gems, gold ingots, and apples, so that's really cool too. So all in all this stuff stacked together, we're getting a ton of stuff for May. It's going to be a really fruitful time to be a player, so definitely play as much as you can. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of stuff, so happy about that. And of course, we're going to talk about the units here, Zain and Yaras, and they've released some more details here. We know the names of the jobs and everything. Again, I apologize, I wasn't able to do the proper slides that I've been kind of trying to do lately, but I just haven't had the time this week. Hopefully I can get back on that next week. But so we know the job one's going to be called Lord Commander, and that's going to be his unique job. This is going to be his main job, actually, his best job. And as you can see from job 2 and job 3, he has like the tanky, I can't even call it a trifecta because it's not 3. It's basically 2 jobs where he gets Divine Shelter and Guardian if you wanted to make him extra tanky. He has a really good leader skill as well, 50% physical attack for light units, so you don't have to bring like a Suzuka or something who's going to probably die in the current state of the game. You can have Zain, who's going to like fight alongside you for a while and last for a while because he's pretty tanky. The recommended setup is basically his new job. He has, of course, the Holy Cavalier reactive ability, which is going to help him defend some damage. Holy Blade of the White Knight as his first passive is from his first job. That's for extra slash attack. And passive 2, Divine Shelter. So this is a little bit more of a balanced build. You can go more defensive, of course, by putting Guardian on there. But if you put Holy Blade of the White Knight, he'll be able to dish out some damage as well. And yeah, he has some good, decent range stuff. He has a couple of different elements that he can use, so he's going to be a pretty strong attacker. Definitely a top tier unit from now until the future. I mean, he's still very, very good in Japan. He's basically future proof. So he is a permanent unit, so if you don't pull him like right away, he'll keep coming back. I wouldn't say permanent as in he's always available, but he's going to keep coming back over and over. So if you miss out on him the first time, don't worry too much. And we do get a free copy of him later in the future as well if they follow the JP timeline. The next unit is Yaras, who is a water Twin Blade Knight. As the name suggests, it's very similar to Twin Blade Swordsman actually. It's very evasion based. In fact, more so than the Twin Blade Swordsman job because she can double up on those passives. And the attack doesn't look sky high or anything, but when you couple in the martial arts job and the basic combat as a sub-skill, you can charge up and do some devastating attacks, especially when you have her master ability with her weapon. She's going to be really, really good actually. I don't know if she's going to be quite SS tier yet, but she is in the future. She gets a ton of improvements. So yeah, definitely a worthwhile investment, and she comes with that really high-level leader skill as well, 50% to physical attack for water units, just like Shenmei and Shayna. So yeah, really good water attacker. The setup here is Twin Blade Knight, dual wielding, basic combat, like I said, for charge up and everything. Reactive ability, chance of performing a preemptive strike. You can go with that, or if you want to help her survive a little bit better, you can go with perfect evasion. And then passive 1, like flowing water, this raises her evasion rate and move +1. We've heard of that before. That's just like Rider Yomi. So you double up with that and feint, you have a very dodgy character. So she might not like have a ton of defense or tanky HP or anything like that, but she's going to be able to evade a lot. And actually, I'm starting to prefer this kind of character as far as defensively because, HP pools, they're not that high right now in Global. And even if you do have a decent HP pool, there's so many characters that can one-shot you anyway. So the fact that you're able to evade at a fairly good rate is very useful. Like, just Twin Blade Swordsman on its own wasn't good enough. I could never rely on that evasion with feint alone, but with Rider Yomi showing us the way, kind of Fate Lamia is kind of the same way too, and Yaras is going to have the double evasion stuff. I think it's kind of like a new, I wouldn't call it a new meta, but it's definitely a lot more useful than it used to be. So I'm pretty excited about this event, this unit, along with Zain as well. So definitely, once she gets her master ability, she's going to have some crazy offensive attacks as well, so be excited for that. Finally, I do want to squeeze in an Anastasia Job Plus spotlight because I promised this to you guys, and tomorrow on I'm probably not going to be able to get to it because there's going to be summoning videos, new events, and all that stuff. So I do want to squeeze it in here. So let's see. I have my Anastasia. She has her Job Plus here, all mastered and leveled up and everything. So you get these equipment shards from the levels on Blood Wolf by any other name, typically EX. And actually, I think EX is the only place that you can get it, right? It's not too hard to farm. You need 80 shards of everything, but yeah, I mean, I got it fairly early, I think. Her stats did get a little bit better. It wasn't a huge jump as I expected it would from Dark Cavalier to Dark Cavalier Plus, but she does get some stat points here and there. She only got like 2 extra HP or something like that, but yeah, her attack got better. I think her agility got better. Yeah, so I mean, stat wise, you always expect the Job Plus to be better overall. And I also do have the oh no, I don't have it yet, but she's gonna get a master ability in the future, which is gonna give her 15 evasion, 10 agility, and a max HP of 100. So this is gonna make her a lot better. She's already fairly fast as a Dark Cavalier. I mean, her agility is pretty high because of the Job Plus, but 10 more on top of that, evasion plus 15, which will help her to survive because she is fairly squishy, and another 100 HP, definitely gonna round her out really nicely. The setup can go a number of ways actually. I prefer basic Pitch Black Blade because I like Retribution Blade a lot, but you can go with basic firearms if you want some of that AoE or ranged fire options. If you're up against wind enemies, that can definitely be a viable choice for you. Reactive ability, I mean, you can go Revenger, it doesn't really matter. But the proc rate's pretty low, so I would prefer to have the defensive option of composite armor. It works a little bit better. And again, like I said, she's squishy, so she needs to survive any way she can. Overdrive is a must. That's where she gets most of her attack buff from. It does reduce her defense, but again, you're not building her to be a well-rounded tanky character. You're building her to destroy stuff as quickly as possible. Booster +1 for the extra agility is how I did it. Without that, let's go with something like this. It'd be 115, which is still, respectable. This is if you wanted to use some of her other Pitch Black Blade abilities that use her HP, like Soul Sacrifice, but really you don't want to use that for Dark Cavalier Plus. The reason being is that the main improvement that she got from her Job Plus was Bloody Rose. So instead of her what was it, Dark Reaper or Darkbringer or something like that, which cost 36 jewels, by the way. It had the same range, same AoE and everything, but Bloody Rose is cheaper, so you can basically do this right off the bat. When you start a match, 30 jewels is a much better jewel cost than 36. And what is great about this is it also raises her own physical attack. So not only is it a good go-to attack that she would be using anyway, but it raises her own attack by 20%. So this is her best move now. Not a whole lot else has changed. I mean, that's typical with Job Pluses, is they improve one major skill and improve the stats, for the character. But yeah, Bloody Rose is where it's at. I mean, the jewel count and the physical attack buff is actually a big deal, especially because their physical attack's already so high. So 20% makes a big difference. So anyway, that's all I wanted to show you guys, because really there's nothing new to show visually. It's the same Dark Cavalier type of stuff, but Bloody Rose is a nice ability. Unfortunately, it's not that OP stuff that we see in the levels that takes you all the way down to single-digit health across the map or whatever. It's not that, but it is a really good improvement upon her go-to 3x3 AoE ability. So the cheaper cost and the attack, I mean, it makes a big difference. It actually does. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in this video. Hopefully I covered enough. It's a little bit of a catch-up video, but yeah, I had to do what I had to do. And tomorrow, hopefully I'll bring you a summoning video. If not, it'll cover some of the new events. So hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I apologize for being a little bit busy these days, but I try to make it up to you just a little bit in this video. And hopefully I can come out with some good content tomorrow and Friday as well. So yeah, thanks for sticking through the video with me, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.